Good evening, everybody. We are back once again. Give me 1 minute here. We got to fix something real quick, and I'll be right back.
Where'd you go? I miss you so. Seems like it's been forever that you've been gone. Where'd you go? I miss you so. Seems like it's been forever that you've been gone. Where'd you go? I miss you so. Seems like it's been forever that you've been gone.
Come on over, lock it down. Wish you would learn how to put in time and be around. Got better things to chase, you know. We on and off without a sound. Whenever I open up, still all your love cannot be found. You know, like I know, I'm impatient with the things I want. Waiting and waiting for you to come and claim it. Calling for your love, too far from my arms. Waiting and waiting for fate to come and save us. These days are so long, too far from my arms. Now I'm a fighter. We could walk away or work it out. Oh yeah, long as we move, just keep it moving. Too hard on you, but I know you can take it. I can't stay in one place. Why your love so lazy? Waste gotta change, you know, like I know. I'm impatient with the things I want. Ooh, waiting and waiting for you to come and claim it. Calling for your love, too far from my arms. Waiting and waiting for fate to come and save us. These days are so long, too far from my arms. Too far from me. From me. From me. Too far from me. From me. From me. Waiting and waiting.
Okay, we're back. That was Niger Chanel with her newest song that came out, Impatient. Good song. Welcome to Hope Alive, April 5, everybody. It's been a long week. A long week. A lot of stuff been happening over the week. But we're gonna get to that towards the end. What's really been going on with Hope Alive, April 5, and where we're gonna be heading to. So tonight we have Karen Pearsell tonight. We have Lisa Buon tonight. We have Marie Ciccione tonight, and we have a retired NYPD Tom Lovelace to join us tonight. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful. Can't wait for it. Tonight, tomorrow, next week, next Friday, we have Gabrielle Espinosa. We have Luz Rodriguez from New York City. We have Tawana Marie from the state of Florida. We have Kanita Corley, as many know, aka Tea Time with Bunky. She's going to join us next week as well too. We have an in-person that's coming in to join us live, Anthony Jason. He's going to be coming in next week. And we have Zoe Kinsley from the state of Georgia that's going to be joining us next week. Now let's get to our updates. Missing Richard Kendall, 75 years old, from the village of Nyack, went missing yesterday. They are urgent. If you see him or hear about him, please call 911. Timothy Smith, who recently went missing back in October, he has been found safely. We thank God for that. This is came in today from West New York. Josiah Moore, 14 years old, who went missing. She was last seen on Central in East Orange on October 14th. Brianna Vidbert, 24 years of age. She went missing on July 15, 2017. She has 4 children. People, she has not been found yet. We have still missing Elena De La Cruz, who was last seen on July 10th, 2021. We have Joseph Help, who's still missing on 1/16/87. Cassandra Ramirez, who went missing back in 2018 in September. Marvin Gibbs, 3/29/85. He's not been found yet, from Fallsburg, New York. Omar St. Hill, who went missing on May 7, 2020. He has not been found yet. Rochelle Hammond, who went missing on August 15, 2019. She has not been found yet. Shanice Harris went missing on 5/29/2017 from Rock Hill, New York. She has not been found yet. Stephen Kraft, 4/28/20. He was last seen in Beacon, New York. Car was found over in Newburgh. He has not been found yet. Aaliyah Boomer, who went missing on August 15, 2015. She has not been found yet. Nicole Brasio, she is still missing. She went missing back in September. Could be in the state of Florida. Nobody knows yet, but it's a possibility she could be in the state of Florida. So therefore, these are still missing. No words, no answers. Answers need to be answered. Let's get to our updates. Our toy drive has started. From now until December 15th, we have a few drop-off locations. We have Tony Baba's in Middletown. They're willing to put a box up for us over there. Our office, 343 East Broadway, Monticello, Suite 4. And Seventh-day Adventist Church in Ellenville. 181 Clinton Avenue. If you need to drop off before Saturdays, you can contact Luis at 845-428-3844. A very good church. I spent a lot of time with them. They are involved with us as the tour drive continues. And we special thanks to the Vibes in 211 in Middletown, New York. They're also partnering with us as well for the toy drive. So if you have any kind of information regarding a family who is struggling, please contact us at 845-707-4124. Or if you know a family or if you're in need of help, please contact us and we'll put you on the list and we see what we can do for you this year. Now we're going to get to our events. So our support group starts November 12th. This is for families that is currently has somebody missing. This will be an online support group. So if you are hurting from a family that is missing, contact us. We have a support group from all over right now that's joining us to help support you guys through this difficult time. We have our Penny Social coming up November 13th at St. Peter's Church from 6 to 9 p.m. Calling starts at 7 p.m. So get there early, get your tickets, win those prizes. We have our coat drive starting November 27th to December 9th. We want to help the coldest people out there. We want to help the needy. So if you have old coats, hats, gloves, drop them off. I'm sure somebody can use them. Santa Claus is coming to Hope Alive on December 19th at our office. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of good times. Get your pictures with your kids, have some hot chocolate, have some pie, cookies, get a gift from them, from Santa Claus. That's going to be a lot of fun. December 19th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So make sure you come by and say hello and have a joy time. So tonight, we're going to see if Kim is in our studio yet. She's not in yet. Okay, we're waiting on Kim. So, yes? Karen, is she in? Okay. We're going to bring in Karen Pearsell. Her sister went missing from Liberty a few months back, and we were involved with it, and she was found safely. So let's bring Karen in. Hi, Karen. How you doing?
Hi, Domingo. I'm good, thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure to meet you finally.
Yeah, no, we've been texting enough.
Yeah, pretty much. So your sister Sherri went missing.
She did.
And she was found. She was found.
She was. It took some time. It took about 2 weeks, and calls to the hospitals, the morgues, the normal, the police, the normal stuff. She finally was able to get hold of our brother. It was the only phone number she could remember. Her phone wasn't working. She finally was able to use someone's phone to call him. And so from that point, we were able to start helping her. But it took 2 weeks. Nerve-wracking, worrying, not sleeping weeks.
Well, I can imagine. And where are you located at?
I'm in Maryland, which made it exceptionally difficult because although I grew up in the Hudson Valley and we're familiar with the Monticello Liberty area, I don't know the hospitals there. I have no clue, who to call, how to call, anything. The police was my first thought. And that's what I did.
And that was Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty Police. And it was difficult. Her son got involved. His girlfriend got involved. It wasn't any fun.
No, I can imagine. It's funny because Liberty, the officer that was involved, very nice guy. He was willing to work with us, and we were happy because most police departments, they don't.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they were very good.
He did, and it was very outstanding because he showed the careness that he wanted to help and find Sherri.
Yeah.
And that made us happy because most police departments, they don't really do that too much.
Yeah, well, their workload, of course, is probably tremendous, and it's just one case in probably a stack on their desk. I
I'm
was an
sure.
insurance agent, and there was always a stack of papers on the desk because there were just so many people you had to help. So the police aren't any different.
That's true. So when she went missing, I know it was very, very nerve wracking for you all.
Hmm.
Very nerve wracking. What could you tell the community? You know, how does it feel when you know that wow, my sister's now missing, and but you're helpless because you're way out in Maryland right now? What could you say?
It's difficult. I have health issues. I couldn't just drive up there and start looking. It just wasn't possible. That and we're older, so of course we're on Social Security, so money's an issue as well. So it made it difficult because I didn't know what I could do from here to help. I did find another Facebook page, missing persons. I did list on there. I actually had someone in Florida say, "Oh, we saw her van." Well, she's not in Florida. I know she wasn't in Florida, but I thanked her. At least somebody was looking. They saw it, and we posted, of course, on Hope Alive. Um, I had hope that the van would at least be spotted, but it never was. So it's very difficult because I'm in another state with limited resources, and there's just no place you can click and say you need to call all these places. Here's the list. It Hospitals, and why aren't hospitals notified of a missing person? I mean, they get them in the ER all the time. Jane Doe's, John Doe's, nothing. I had no clue. Luckily, my sister was able to help with that. Um, and she did a lot of that because I was in no way thinking straight. It just your mind goes numb. It does. Where are they? What are they doing? Are they all right? Have they eaten? Are they cold? I mean, normal stuff. It was hot. It was extremely hot. I didn't know if she had water.
Yeah, no, you're
So
right. You're right.
it was nerve wracking, terribly nerve wracking. I'm just glad she was found. She was all right. She had gotten some help, and that was the day the sun came back out.
Absolutely. How's she doing today?
She's with our brother, so she's not alone at any time, and she's doing better than she was. She still has a long way to go because she has health issues as well. This was another concern. So right now she's resting and trying to decide what she's going to do next.
Good for her.
The only thing she knows, she's not going back to New York. That much she knows.
I think everybody wants to move out of New York right now.
I got news for you. I'm in Maryland. Half of Maryland is New York.
They're,
Every
they're
other
moving.
no kidding. Every other person you run into down here, they're from New York.
It's either Maryland or Florida State
Yes,
right
Florida.
now.
That's another one. Yeah.
I'm all for it. Pack our bags. We out. We going.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy that you came on tonight. I know we talked so many times through the months,
Yeah.
and that suggestion that you made, we're actually going to do that.
That's
Our
excellent.
yes, our producer, we're going to start contacting the people, important people around the areas to see if we
Mm-hmm.
can get their number on our website because I think that'd be a great thing to do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I do understand that with the hospitals, it is the HIPAA law,
Yeah.
so it's very difficult to get information out of them.
Well, it's not so much getting information out of them as giving them the information that this person is missing. Have they checked in? Does the picture match anybody in your wards? Because they get Jane Doe's, John Doe's. They
Yeah.
don't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, we are going to look into that as well. I think that's an outstanding suggestion that you made. And then we just hope for the best for Sherri. We hope
Yeah.
that she comes good.
I'll keep
So
you informed of what's going on, but right now it's just rest, decide what's next.
absolutely. Well, Karen, I thank you so much for joining us tonight. Stay
Mhm.
warm down there in Maryland. It's going to get cold.
Oh, come on. I'm walking around in a sweater.
We're walking around with heavy sweatshirts and everything.
I grew up in New York, so this is temperate climate.
Well, Karen, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and we'll definitely keep in touch with each other, and as progress, goes, and then
Mhm.
maybe one day we'll come down to Maryland and visit you.
Oh, good.
So it's not too far,
No, no, it's not too far unless you're
right?
me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, enjoy your night, Karen, and we will speak to you then.
Yep. Thank you, Domingo. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you. Bye
Yep.
bye.
Bye bye.
That was Karen. Very nice lady. Very nice. Very nice. So we're gonna take a quick break. Check out our sponsors. We thank our sponsors are two sponsors that we have. We thank them very much for getting involved with us. We are looking for more sponsors. So if you'd like to be a sponsor for Hope Alive, please contact us at 845-707-4124. Everything helps an organization. So we'll be right back.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Schmidt's Wholesale, a family-run wholesale distributor of plumbing, heating, electrical pumps, waterworks, and HVAC supplies. That's Schmidt's Wholesale, 845-794-5900 or 150 Jefferson Street in Monticello.
All right, we are back. Thank you for our sponsors once again. Coming up next is a young lady whose mom went missing. It's one thing when you have your it's one thing that you have your child go missing, then it comes to a mother or father missing. It's heartbreaking. So I would like to let's see if this person's writing. Okay. We're gonna bring on Lisa. So let's talk to Lisa. Let's bring her right in. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, how are
Hi.
you?
Good. How you doing?
Good, Domingo.
Well, thank you for joining me tonight. We spoke so many times already in the past. With you down there in Orange County running, and your mom. How is your mom doing?
My mom is doing well. Thank you for asking.
Good, good. Now she went missing over the summer, right? Towards the end of the summer,
Yes, towards the end of the summer.
and she was found in New York City.
Yes, she was found in New York City in her apartment.
Oh wow! There you go. What was you going through?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
What was you going through when your mom went missing?
It was a very tough time. And one of the things one of the reasons why I wanted to come on is because I wanted to thank the community in the city of Newburgh. It's my new community, as well as the Newburgh City School District, because the outpouring of love and help that I got from both of those communities, as well as the City of Newburgh Police Department, was just overwhelming. And it just, one, showed me that a lot of people are going through this with their parents, that it's common with parents disappearing, being lost in our communities. And I'm just grateful for all of the help that we received, and that my mother was found safe.
Well, that's very outstanding. Big respect to Newburgh PD, because I know they're busy over there in Newburgh. Where all the stuff going over there in Newburgh. It takes one big community to help.
Yes.
That's all it
Yes.
takes.
Yes.
It shouldn't be taken. It shouldn't have to be the governors. It's the community.
Yes.
Once the community gets involved, we can find so many people.
Yes.
And I mean, I was watched it, and then I kept seeing like, wow, that's what made us start the organization, because we feel like that we need to do more.
Right.
I mean, we understand that almost every police department is probably stacked with a lot of files right now, with crime, and but in your case, we're very happy that they put that crime aside and look for something very important. Because
Yes.
it's a human being.
Yes.
So now you're also a doctor?
Yes. Doctorate in education.
Oh, nice.
Leadership. Yes.
Nice. So how can we get our communities to be like what they just did for your mom?
I would have to say social media played a big part. A lot of the tips that we received and that helped the police came from Facebook Messenger. So I think it's really important that social media be utilized in cases like this. And the fact that, a lot of my people, I've been an administrator in the Newburgh community for 18 years now. So I'm a little bit well known. So, the people who work with me and my friends are friends on Facebook. So it went out immediately. 3 of our board members called me and, helped in some way or another. Students were helping, teachers were helping. It was just an overwhelming support, that I felt from the community in Newburgh. And I'm just so happy. I've recently moved here, and I'm just so happy that I'm part of this wonderful community now.
That's the key word. That is the key word. Community help, with board members, teachers, students. I mean, because I do as like up here in Sullivan County, right now we have several cases that we're working on right now up here. We have a girl who went missing for going on 5 years now.
Oh, wow.
We have a young man who went missing back in 1985. Family is destroyed. They're destroyed, and they're not getting the help by the community. In your situation, if the community up here can do the same thing what your community is doing, a lot more will be found. Answers will be answered. We need change is what we need.
I agree.
I mean, that's from all the counties. Yeah, there's too many.
There are too many missing.
Way too many. And how I feel, I don't know how you feel, but I feel that every missing person should have coverage all over. Not just one, everybody get coverage. Because without them seeing anything on TV how they gonna know? It's just like with the one case we're doing, Marvin Gibbs, young man, young black male, nice kid. I was on the news recently and I brought him up, and they said, well, who's he? Who's he? That's my point. You don't even know who he is.
Right.
So yeah, I totally respect everything that you're doing over there. Absolutely. We need change up here too. So that's what we're fighting for. Change.
Yeah.
But I definitely gotta come meet you in person. So absolutely. Now, do you work with the school as well or no?
Yes, I'm a principal on an elementary school.
Oh, nice. Principal. All right. So our goal, what we want to do for schools, we are a public charity around the whole New York area. What we want to do is go to each school and start educating our kids about running away, because we deal with that too, and about going missing. And we want the children to feel safe by going to a police officer if they need help. That's our main goal right now. So how could we get into your school, by trying to educate kids, on a one-day base seminar and talk to the kids about it's not good to run away, because run away can lead to many, many bad things.
I would say that you can apply to the district to run that program. What's nice now that it can be done virtually, so you can, stream into a classroom or to an auditorium to meet with a group of students. about this issue. It would definitely be beneficial, I believe, to our junior high schools and our high schools. Having been a former middle school principal, and with social media, I see how safety and talking about safety for them and about running away and all of that is important, because it can lead to, our children disappearing. Speaking as a former runaway and foster kid, I know it's dangerous out there for runaways,
Absolutely.
and for the grace of God go I. So more that we can educate our children, I'd be happy to support that. We can speak offline and we can try and get you, how to get into the school districts, because it is possible.
It's a very important topic too.
Yeah. You know,
These young kids, they,
and I would also, I'm not to interrupt you, Domingo,
no.
also doing this for parents. What should they be looking for? Because some parents don't follow their child's social media or don't check their child's phones, or, and showing parents how kids can, hide things from them on social media and vice, all those things, would be helpful. So the same thing you want to present to students, I think it's important to also present to parents.
Right. Because social media is the biggest track right now. Social media. Yeah. You get the most predators on social media with so many fake profiles, even with having these games that these kids play these days.
Yes.
You get older people playing it just to see who they're playing with. I mean, we watch our kids all the time. We make sure that who they're talking to, but it's very important. And, kids these days, they get wild out. They want to have fun. They want to go out to the malls, but they don't really understand what they really have to look for now.
Or they think they're talking to a child their own age, but they don't really know that it's a predator. Social media is just a very dangerous place for children, and children are getting on it at a younger and younger age.
Absolutely. So this is where we have to get involved immediately before more of our children go missing.
I agree.
And soon we're gonna have nobody around because they're gonna be missing.
Yes.
But yeah, we're definitely gonna speak, throughout the thing. We're definitely interested in connecting with you in Newburgh. Maybe we can make some progress over there too, because I was in Newburgh a couple weeks ago, and I saw these young little kids out there, selling little lemonades. I thought it was cute. They're earning their money. I'd rather see that, and instead of seeing our kids on the street doing violence.
Yes.
I just read in the news the other day about 2 teenagers, 14-year-old kids. They murdered somebody. I'm thinking, these are babies. These are babies.
They are babies. They're our babies.
Yeah, exactly. The children is our future.
Yes.
Yeah, we lived our life.
Yes. Yes.
But Lisa, I love it so much that you joined me tonight. We're definitely going to connect, to make progress over there. And then I'll be happy to come meet you in person. We go over some plans for Orange County area, because Sullivan County, but we're having a hard time up here in Sullivan County.
Right.
So with support wise.
But let's get into the schools in Sullivan then.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's start making progress. So, but I thank you so much, Dr. Lisa. That's what I call you, Dr. Lisa. Thank you so much for what you too, and thank you so much for what you do for our kids in Newburgh. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you.
So
have a good night.
You too. Thank you. That was Dr. Lisa. She's right. We need to get into these schools and start educating these kids, because these kids are not going to know anything what to do when they're outside the streets. So anyway, we're going to take a quick break for a minute, and then we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So we have a little bit here. The, there's a few things that we want to bring up that's been kind of, well, it's how you say it. It's kind of bothering us a little bit that happened this week. Look, we have to make this point clear. We are in no competition with anybody else. Anybody else. We do this because we care about our community. We care about our children. We care about the families that has a loved one missing. People on the outside, they see us doing something, they're going to jump in front of us to do the same thing to try to, to get the whatever case it be. But we are in no competition with anybody. I've spoken to so many people up here already about this situation, and it's heartbreaking to us that we are out here trying to find a loved one. We are out here trying to make change. We are all in this together. If the community can stick together, there'll be probably less missing people happening. There's been murders that hasn't been solved yet, and we're going to talk about that next week. I actually watched a podcast last night, and it broke my heart because the lady is so very nice. She we spoke today, and just even thinking about not having closure for a family member is, it's outrageous, and just to top it all off, when we do our podcasts, our studio is for the people who's on our podcasts. Other people who's not on the podcast that night, they can watch it through our Facebook page. We're not trying to take other members away from other pages. We're, like I said, we are a nonprofit organization. We do this out of our hearts, and we do it because of our passion, our staff, a treasurer, our producer, our advocate. We do this for a reason. We don't just do it just for fun. We don't do it to get paid, because we don't get paid. So we have to make that clear. We whatever we do, it comes out of our own pockets. That's where it comes to. Like right now, we're at my office right now. This is how much that we care about this organization. This is how much we care about our families, and this is how much we care about our community. We are in our office right now, freezing our asses off because we have no heat here. But we do it because we love what we do. So everybody has to understand this, because, a lot of people's going out and saying, oh, well, why am I going to pay $5 to go see Santa Claus? Look, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're trying to change our community. It's tough. It's very rough on us, and we do our best that we could do. So, it's all crazy. So, all right, Marie can't make it. Okay, so Marie, I just got a text message from Marie. She can't make it. She's tied up. That's fine. We have 20 minutes, and we have the retired NYPD Tom Lovelace. This guy is wonderful. He has his own band, the Amoni Band. He has his radio show. We was on it a couple of times. This guy's amazing. The band was amazing. My gosh. They were really getting down with the band, and we're going to have him again. So he's going to join us in about 20 minutes. But if anybody, while we have 20 minutes or 15, 19 minutes, if anybody has any kind of questions, this is the opportunity to ask now. So meanwhile, while we wait for some questions, where's Hope Alive going to go? That's a good question. Right now, as it stands right now, we are planning to move out of Sullivan County to Orange County. Orange County shows a lot of support with what we do. Sullivan County, we're having a hard time up here in Sullivan County. I have to be honest. We're having a hard time up here in Sullivan County. We've tried to speak to so many people that's important up here. We just don't get that feedback from them. So we are looking right now to see what our options are going to be for next year. We're not sure yet. It's not definite yet, but it is in the talks right now between myself and our members right now. It's sad because this is where we started at, was Sullivan County, and up here we really want to make the change, but we just want to, we need cooperation from our community right now and our officials up here. So this is where we're at right now. So we're not really sure. Like I said, this week's been a rough week. It's been a really, really rough week, between myself, I was talking to my other half about a lot of it. I'm talking to our producer and our board member, Ryan, a lot about it. It's a lot of confusion going on up here. A lot of people think that we're in it, for, to, like, we're better. No, we're not better than nobody else. We're not in no competition. We do this because this is what we do. So, meanwhile, I think Ryan had a song up by him, no. So anybody have any questions while we wait? I mean, yeah, it's a little off this week for me. I have to be honest. I'm a little off this week. Just had a lot going through the mind this week. But we do thank a lot of people who's been sticking with us. We thank a lot of people who's been showing support with us. We thank Teton Bunky. We're always talking back and forth. We thank her real name is Kanita Corley. She's gonna be on next week. Devastating story that she has to talk about next week. It's a sad thing. Her family not knowing, what happened, to their loved one. Next week, we have a great lineup next week. I can't wait for next week. And then the following week, we have the Harris family. We have the Gibbs family. We have the Ramirez family on next week. And also next week, too, we might have a special live performance by Deanna. She's one of our artists that performs at our events. So we're going to wait to see if she's going to do it here or on. Yes, Kanita, she is coming on next week. I mean, I believe it was the 20th we had it set for, if I'm correct. Not next week, the week after. So remember, next week, people, we have a great lineup. We have Gabriel Espinosa. He is the owner of the Knights of Order of LEMC of Sullivan County. He's been very, very big helpful with us. We give a big shout out to him. They're also helping us with our Penny Social next Saturday. We have Luz Rodriguez next week. She runs an online group for women over in New York City. I was actually one of the speakers a couple of weeks ago. Amazing people there. Amazing people. We have Tawana Marie next week. She's up in the state of Florida. I've known her since she was a little baby, but she has, she's going to come on and talk about the missing people up there. We have Anthony Jackson. He's the owner of the Riki Bar in Wurtsboro. He's a very, very close friend of Shanice Harris. He's also been very big supporter with us as well, too. So he's coming into our studio live. So he's going to be in person next week. We have Zoe Kinsley from Georgia. I went to school with her. She has a lot to talk about when it comes down to the missing people. And we also going to be having Kanita Corley, a heartbreaking story when she talks about her uncle. I'm not going to say too much right now because, it's not my place until next week, but it's a must listen to this. This is what we mean when a family does not have closure. This is what we mean right here. And this is why we're fighting so hard up in Sullivan County to get this change, because we need the change in Sullivan County, and we need it badly. So this is why we need everybody's support on this. So in the meantime, we're gonna post up some pictures of the people who is missing right now. That's currently missing right now. If you see one of these faces, please, you have to reach out to us ASAP. 845-707-4124, or after hours 845-866-0442. Contact it. We need answers for these missing people. Take a look at these missing current people right now. See, that's just half of them missing. Just half of them missing. You know, what do you do? People, if this was your daughter, your son, your mom, your dad missing, what would you do? It's very important that we must start standing up together and start finding these people. You know, these are somebody's child. Doesn't matter how old they are, they're somebody's child. So coming up next, we're gonna have the retired NYPD Tom Lovelace. This guy's wonderful. I can't wait till he comes on. But in the meantime, if you missed it in the beginning, one of our artists who performed last year, she's a native from Fallsburg and Sullivan County, Marie Ciccione. You know, she is she's making records, she's making songs. We met her in person so many times. Very nice person, I will say. So please listen to her newest song. I believe it's called Impatient, if I'm correctly. I heard it, it's pretty good. And then after her song, we'll be right back with Mr. Tom Lovelace. I can't wait. Check it out.
Yeah. Come on over, lock it down. Wish you would learn how to put in time and be around. Got better things to chase, you know. We on and off without a sound. Whenever I open up, still all your love cannot be found. You know, like I know, I'm impatient with the things I want. Waiting and waiting for you to come and claim it. Calling for your love, too far from my arms. Waiting and waiting for fate to come and save us. These days are so long, too far from my arms. Now I'm a fighter. We could walk away or work it out. Oh yeah, long as we move, just keep it moving. Too hard on you, but I know you can take it. I can't stay in one place. Why you love so lazy? Waste got change, you know, like I know. I'm impatient with the things I want. Ooh, waiting and waiting for you to come and claim it. Calling for your love, too far from my arms. Waiting and waiting for fate to come and save us. These days are so long, too far from my arms. Too far from me. From me. From me. Too far from me. From me. From me. Waiting and waiting for
Impatient. Boy, it had me kind of move a little bit on that one. So that was Niger Chanel. She was at our music fest last year. It was a pretty good turnout, through the whole day, thanks to the biker group, Knights of Order, LEMC of Southern County. Such very nice people. I have to say they're such respectful people. These guys are. They're going to be at our Penny Social coming up this Saturday. So remember, next Saturday is our Penny Social. We still looking for more donations with items. We have a few, but we need more. If you wish to stop by and dust some items off or wherever case may be, please do. It's next Saturday. And then Friday, we have our support group. Remember that. We have some moms coming on. If you have a loved one that was missing and that was found, please join us. I think it's very good that we get the families together, for support, because right now a lot of families are struggling with their loved one being missing. I can name 5 right off the bat. Elvia Crump, her daughter Shanice Harris been missing. I'm going on 5 years. Stacy, her brother's been missing since 1985. Cheryl, her daughter's been missing for a while, almost 2 years now. It's always good to have support for families. This is what we're here for. We are here to show them that we're here, we're not going away, and we're going to support you until the end. So, so next Friday. So if you'd like to get on the list for that, please contact me. It will be virtual. It will be on Zoom. It's from 6 to 8. And then right after that, our podcast will start at 8:30 next Friday because we have the support group 6 to 8, and it's going to take a little bit to get everything in order for next Friday. So meanwhile, we're going to bring in the retired officer, NYPD, Mr. Tom Lovelace.
Hello, Domingo. Good evening.
Tom, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, it's great to see you again. We're doing really well here.
Good. Tom, thank you for your service.
It was an honor.
You guys are great at the Rivoli. We can't wait to have you back again next year at the Rivoli for the 80s and 90s music. That's gonna be fun. Can't wait. And we thank you for your donation for the Penny Social. That's
Absolutely.
a big thing.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. And really, it is an honor and a privilege to be able to be part of Hope Alive 845. The entire band, my family, we thank you personally for what you and your team are doing to help find these missing people.
Now, Tom, you're retired NYPD.
Yes. Yeah. 20 years.
20 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
How is it up there with coming out of missing people?
Well, prior to coming on to your show, I decided, let me do a little bit of research to see what's online in regards to what the average person would see not being involved in law enforcement and some of the resources they would reach out to see what to do in the time of crisis. And before I do get started, I would like to read this disclaimer because I am now retired. I am not in any way representing any government agencies, specifically law enforcement. The views and opinions expressed by me are solely mine and certainly not of any government agencies whatsoever. With that being said, I did 20 years in the South Bronx, and dealing with missing persons, unfortunately, was a common occurrence. And, the research that I've recently done, I wanted to see from my own experiences what's out there online. When you Google, a guide to understanding how the NYPD responds to a missing persons report. My sources, I chose NewYorkCityNewsService.com, and I also chose CivilServiceSuccess.com. Both of them seem to be pretty much similar as far as their reporting procedures go. Once again, this is not from the NYPD. This is views and opinions expressed solely by myself. So we start off with step one, okay, reporting the case. If someone goes missing, you should report a missing person case as soon as possible. Call 911. There is no need to wait 24 hours. And Domingo, I know you and I have discussed this in the past. There is a common myth among the public that you have to wait 24 hours before you report someone missing, but that's absolutely not the case. And, the biggest thing is time. As you know, you're in the business of helping these families find missing people. So deviating a little bit from the New York City News Service.com, because that was a statement that I just read from them, I like to do an A and B comparison. That statement is absolutely correct. There is no such thing as go home and wait 24 hours and come back and see us. And if anybody is witnessing that or is told that, that's simply not true as far as the NYPD goes, from my personal experience. So if somebody is told that, I would reach out to a different agency up here, certainly the Sheriff's Department, the New York State Police, and things like that. When reporting the case, all right, New York City News Service.com, when reporting the case, it is extremely important to provide as much information as possible about the missing person, including his or her last seen whereabouts, places that the person frequents, and any friends or relatives that the person may have been in touch with. Provide a photo, a recent photo, right? Include a full description of the missing person, including if they have any distinguishing marks, such as scars, tattoos, etc. Parents should keep good records of who has been contacted, what information you get out, and which detective you're going to be working with, because you will be assigned a detective, all right? If anybody has information, about the case itself, they should immediately report those findings to the detectives so they can investigate. All right, so that's step one, reporting the case. Let's get down to the nuts and bolts of it, how the NYPD responds. Once again, my source that I'm turning to is the New York City News Service.com. I would like to read it, and then we could comment on it of my personal experiences and verify the validity of what this source, that probably if people are going to Google this and search it, this is the first one that's going to pop out, okay? How the NYPD responds. Once the NYPD receives a call about a missing person, its response will depend on the circumstances of each case. People who are elderly, children under the age of 13, people suffering from a mental or physical condition, or possible victims of a crime are considered what we call special categories. Police consider these populations particularly vulnerable and will immediately take action in searching for the missing person. I can absolutely verify that. There's a number of different procedures that if the missing person falls under those parameters, there is an immediate response, an immediate search, okay? However, missing people who do not fall under these categories will not receive as much attention. This is because people over the age of 18 legally do not have to return home unless we can prove that there was an involuntary disappearance, such as a kidnapping, okay? Once again, the New York City News goes on to report, we just filed paperwork, all right? That's not too reassuring when I read something like that, because I was involved in law enforcement for 20 years. But the average person reading this saying, well, if they don't fall under this category, we're just going to file paperwork. When I hear that, the red flag goes up for me, because like you were saying previously with this podcast tonight, what if it's your son, your daughter, your mother, your father, et cetera, et cetera? The world stops revolving for you at that time. And I know, Domingo, you and your staff witness this all the time. and the families are devastated. So, how do we go about fixing that? That to where, well, yeah, they're not under, they're 18 years old, but this person comes home every single day at 4 o'clock, and they didn't come home today. They didn't come home yesterday. They didn't come home 2 or 3 days ago. There's absolutely something wrong, something missing with that procedure. I'm not buying that. Okay, I was in law enforcement for 20 years, and I'm not buying that just paperwork is being filed. So I do have a little discrepancy with that statement. Once again, the source is NewYorkCityNewsService.com. Let's go to step 3, conducting the search. Okay, in all cases, the local precinct where the case is reported will handle a case first. If the missing person is not found within a few weeks, once again, a few weeks, we need to be talking a few hours, right? Once again, if the missing person is not found within a few weeks, the precinct will hand off the case to the missing persons squad, which shall continue to work the case. On special category cases, the ones that I previously read, police will devote as many resources as possible to the search. I can absolutely verify that. They may choose to issue an Amber Alert or a missing vulnerable adult alert to draw attention to the case. People can also turn to media publications, your organization, absolutely, Hope Alive 845, and their own social media platforms to ask for help and things like that. Other agencies can also help. The National Autism, here's something that I wasn't aware of. The National Autism Association, for example, recently released a toolkit on how to search for children with autism. Okay, the report makes specific recommendations for both parents and first responders. Step 4, closing the case. Police will keep searching for a missing person until they can close the case. Well, what does that mean exactly? Statistics from the Missing Persons Clearinghouse, which keeps a track of all missing people in New York State, shows that the majority of missing person cases for both children and vulnerable adults were resolved within 1 or 2 days. So now we go from weeks to these cases being solved in 2 or 3 days. I like the 2 or 3 days response because that sounds more real-time, real-life experience as far as I had. We've had people come into the precinct. We've had people make a phone call that their loved one is missing. And I've always taken it very seriously because, like what you said, it could be one day somebody that's in our family. And that's the last thing that we certainly want to hear and report. Now, with that being said, going to civilservicesuccess.com, more than 13,000 people were declared missing last year alone in New York City. Usually the New York State Police Department is the first resource to report any missing person. Okay, and now once again it goes into filing a case. I like this source. It says as soon as somebody goes missing, that means it's up to you to determine when did they go missing, not anybody else. The person, the family member knows their loved one better than anyone else, right? And if this person comes home from work every single day at 4 o'clock and all of a sudden doesn't come home, they're not answering their cell phone, your red flag goes up. And you know what? Don't be embarrassed to go and report this person missing. And if you're told, well, there's a 24-hour rule, I'm telling you right now, that is absolutely incorrect, at least with the NYPD. Okay, and I speak from personal experience. So as soon as somebody goes missing, it is very important to report to local authorities and share all the necessary details. If you suspect something's wrong and they might be, let's say, kidnapped or anything similar to that has happened, report the case with the least amount of time possible. Not the most amount, the least amount of time possible, okay? And people, once again, even in this report, people, once again, usually have a misunderstanding that they can't file a missing person case unless 24 hours have passed. I would love to know where that came from, okay? Where did this 24 hours? Well, you have to wait 24 hours. all the research that I've done prior to coming on to your show tonight, they all say the same thing. There is no such thing as a 24 hours. And once again, I can't stress that enough. Folks out there tuning into the show, if you're being told that, seek another source of help, because that's just not correct. Okay.
That just happened recently up here.
Did it really?
It was. Yeah. We had well, Shanice Harris case.
Yes.
She's the big one I'm working on right now. The sister went to the police department and they told her come back in 24 hours. When they went back the next day, they went to the sheriff's department and they said, why'd you wait so long?
There you go. There you go. Well, the sheriff's department is absolutely correct. And shame on the person that told that family to wait 24 hours. I don't know why they would do something like that. Could be a number of reasons. But that's simply not the truth. And you got to report it right away. You know it, Domingo, better than anybody, right?
Yep.
So by having this program that you're doing tonight, and when you come on the air with me on Saturdays, we need to stress that there is no 24-hour period. It's right here, it's right now, and it's real time. Okay.
We were talking to one of the politicians up here last week, and he brought up something that I was very interested in about an organization like us, a verified organization. If someone gets reported missing, we should get an alert immediately as well. And he brought that up. What's your thoughts about that?
Yes, absolutely. Your organization is a certified nonprofit organization with a track record of helping people find people. Folks out listening to this show right now, I can tell you one thing that is an absolute fact. If I didn't stand behind and believe Hope Alive 845, I certainly wouldn't be here, and we certainly wouldn't be having this conversation right now. Organizations like yours are desperately needed because I've seen departments overworked. Okay. I've seen caseload after caseload after caseload. And, you never want to become mundane in your work, right? You want to be able to devote as much attention to every single case as you possibly can. So having organizations like Hope Alive 845 is very important, because no one knows the missing person better than their family. And what I've experienced through your organization, Hope Alive 845, is you deal directly with the family and have the time and the resources to be able to help these families, where maybe some departments may not have that time, manpower, and resources.
That's very true. I mean, we have a case right now we're on from 1985.
85. Let's think about how long ago that is. And you didn't dismiss that case. That case is obviously very serious to you and your team at Hope Alive 845.
There's a few that we're trying to get. We have one in Newburgh, 2020. Shanice Harris. The family's with us. And we're always contacting the family because we know it's hard. It's hard on them.
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a quick story about Shanice Harris and how I got to know that name. I was working a part-time job, okay, and this woman came up to me, a fellow employee. She's been at this business for quite some time, and she was telling me, I believe it was her sister-in-law, okay, and that Shanice was her sister-in-law, and she's telling me about this case. And she said, Tom, we feel helpless. We feel like no one's helping us. So I started asking her a series of standard questions. When did you report it? How long has she been missing? Where's she been missing from? To see if there's anything that maybe I, on my own level, could help with. But just trying to find out that if her family was being treated the way they should have been treated and given that attention that they should have been given at that time. And I sensed a lot of doubt in her words with me, that she really didn't feel that it was that the case really wasn't getting the attention that it needed. And at that point, there was just really nothing I can do. And I felt helpless because I've seen this before. And that's what these families are going through, and it's just not acceptable. You're handed 10 cases. You can only work on one at a time, right? You can only be in one place at a time. We all know that's a fact. That's a fact of life, right? But that doesn't do anything for the family that person's missing, because, like I said earlier, their world does stop revolving at that moment in time, and finding their loved one is absolutely top priority. So we have a good system, okay? We do the best we can, but I always say, how can we make it better? And organizations, once again, Hope Alive 845, you guys are filling, I don't know if you realize this, but you guys are filling a huge void out there that really needs to be filled, not only by Hope Alive 845, but all the volunteers that are willing to help monetarily. You mentioned earlier, donations and things like that. Look, you're sitting there in an office right now. When I heard that there's no heat in there, that's just unacceptable. You need to be in there, and you need at least, if you're asking a carpenter to come and build a house, you expect them to have a saw, a hammer, right, and some nails. Well, that's what you guys need, okay? And having these events like the Penny Social and things like that, I'll do whatever I can to help you out. And I know that you know that, and we're going to be donating an acoustic guitar package. I hope it goes to a really, really cool person, because it's a cool prize. And folks out there listening, I encourage you to donate to Hope Alive 845.
Now, you worked on missing cases before, right? You have.
I have. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, when you work with the family, see the problem that a couple of families are having right now, not just one, but there's a few of them having right now. The local PD or sheriffs or state police, whoever has the case, they don't contact the family. It goes on and on and on for months and months without even contacting them. The family calls every single day, what's going on, any updates. Oh, well, they're not here. We got nothing. Should the families have to keep bugging, or should at least the detective call them? Like, look, we're still working on it. I think that's good as gold by them calling, like we do. We call almost every day. We didn't forget. We're pulling up every day. We're still going at it. I feel that they should contact the family, even if there's no leads. At least contact them. Like, look, we're still working on it. At least they're not forgotten.
You know what? Exactly. You just hit the nail on the head. That phone call, that 5-minute phone call, if that, can go a long ways, because it is letting the family know that your loved one has not been forgotten, that the paperwork hasn't been pushed back in the pile, and that, we are doing what we can. And indeed, they should be doing what they can, right? They're public servants. They are here to serve the public. And out of the officers that I had the privilege to work alongside, we've always have taken cases like that very, very serious, and I've always done the most we can. The families do need communication between law enforcement and even your company, your not-for-profit, Hope Alive 845. A phone call goes a long ways, because it's a little reassuring. Even if there's not much to report, it's letting them know, just like what I'm just reiterating what you just said. It's letting them know, it's comforting knowing that someone else does care.
Absolutely. Well, Tom, we have our concert coming up in June. The third Saturday of June. We can't wait. We also have a country one coming up in May.
Cowboys going to be on it, right?
Yep. Cowboy's going to be on it. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
I love Cowboy.
Yeah, he's something else. He's actually our producer over here.
I know Ryan does a fantastic job for Hope Alive 845, and the time that I interviewed him, I know he takes great pride in it, and I know you do as well, Domingo. And if there's ever anything I can do to offer any type of assistance, I was talking with a good friend of mine that actually has a trained dog that is for search and rescue and things like that, and he said that he would also, be honored to help out when he can. The dog's nose smells, a lot lot more sensitive than the human nose. And
Yeah.
we use, we have a canine unit in the NYPD as well, and they can be very, very effective. The main thing is you need the resources, right? You need the tools, and you need people to maybe care a little bit more. Okay.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's the main thing right now. Up here in Sullivan County, we're fighting for our community
That's right.
right now.
That's
We're
right.
fighting for the community right now. I've called on a few of the FBI. I've contacted the sheriff's department about one case, and I'll call you back. They don't call back, so
Yeah.
we already know how it is already with it. So, but we keep going forward until we get answers.
When I was really young, my father was a construction worker. He raised 7 of us, him and my mom. And when times were getting tough, and you're really up against the wall, there's one thing that I remember that he said to me: you need to have perseverance. When somebody tells you no, you go to the next person, and you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going, right, until you achieve the goal that you're looking to achieve. All right. I can handle 1,000 no's. Look, I was a cop in the South Bronx. Okay. It wasn't a walk-in. I wasn't sunbathing in Central Park. All right. Monday through Friday. I was down there handling business and helping people. And I remember when I was being interviewed to go into the NYPD, and I know that there were all these really elaborate reasons of why people want to be a police officer. And, it truly is a calling. But, it's not like my dad was, my uncle was, or anything like that. So when they got to me and they asked me, why do you want to become a police officer? I was almost a little embarrassed with my answer, because it was an answer from my heart, and it was rather a simple answer. I want to help people. And that was really about it. And I remember the person interviewing me just stared at me, and, I think he appreciated the answer. It wasn't some textbook elaborate answer. I want to do this. I want to be able to leap tall buildings at a single bound, right? I just wanted to help people. And, the first week on the job, we delivered a baby in an apartment. So that was an amazing thing. Quite an experience for a couple of rookie cops. But when people come to the precinct and you could tell the stress in their face, or when you go to their apartment and you could see the stress in their face that somebody's missing. And, we ask a series of questions. Of course, when's the last time you saw them? Why do you think they're missing? Well, like I said, my husband's home from work at 4:30 every single day, and he didn't come home last night. Then you could tell in their eyes, this is a very serious situation. Okay. And we always took it serious too. And I would like to say, in the 20 years that I had the honor of serving, that we did the best we could. And I hope and I encourage local law enforcement in Sullivan County, Orange County, Putnam, Ulster, et cetera, that they do the same as well. And for guys that have some years on the job, don't get complacent. Take every single case serious, just like what you said earlier in your program, like it was your very own. And if you do that, you can't go wrong.
Right. What scares me the most is our children as well. With the sex trafficking going on right now, we actually working on another one from the Bronx. She was 25 years old. She just vanished. Nobody knows anything about her. Very pretty girl, and vanished. We have another one out in Colorado that we're actually trying to get answers for her mom. Very pretty girl, and vanished, and young, it's crazy, it's too many.
I had the conversation with my daughter last week. I went to visit her in college, and we went out and had a nice lunch and things like that. And I said to her, look, something that I need to make you aware of, that, there's a lot of bad people. There's a lot of good people, but there's also a lot of bad people out there. And I brought up sex trafficking, and, she is an athlete. She doesn't do the bar thing and things like that. And I'm certainly not saying there's anything wrong with that, but that's just not my daughter, as far as I know anyways, right? She is a college kid, let's face it. but I said, always know your surroundings. Okay, never leave your drink unattended, because wolves have patience, and they will profile you. They'll see where you go every day. They'll see where you hang out every day. Okay, and they will profile you and then set you up when the timing is right. And that's when you need to be on your guard the most, is you always have to be aware of your surroundings, and never let your guard down. And I'm not saying don't trust your fellow man out there, by no means, but don't get complacent, and remember, the wolves are out there, and you need to take special precautions to make sure that you're safe. And also use the buddy system. As we know, you're walking to class and things like that. Some of these college classes get out late at night, some 11 o'clock at night. You need to walk back to the dorm and things like that. Always go with the buddy system, and make sure you always have your back. And, common sense is just not so common anymore, unfortunately. And we need to maybe get back to that a little bit. And that's what I've tried to bestow upon my family as well. And keep your eyes open.
Absolutely. We're trying to do 2 programs right now. One is to go to the schools and educate our kids about running away and about missing people. I think they all should know about this, because I don't think the schools are teaching them this. And 2, when we start running the programs, we want to get our children who is in our program into self-defense classes.
Yeah. There you go.
That's our goals right now. That's our goals.
Well, I can certainly put you in that direction, because the drummer of our band recently received his black belt, and I'm sure he would love to work with the youth. So I'm volunteering him, or as we used to say in the police department, you're being voluntold. Okay, and I'm sure that he would take pride. As a matter of fact, both his kids, which are twins, are both black belts as well, and I know that they teach classes in the Port Jervis area, to the youth and things like that. Because you know what, when what is hitting the fan, you'd be surprised what you have in your surroundings that may be able to buy you those very, very few precious seconds just to escape. And not everybody knows that. Okay, so what you're doing, you're heading absolutely in the right direction by making these young folks aware of what's going on out there. It is an interesting time we live in right now. There's good times, there's bad times, right? I mean, we all survived the great toilet paper shortage, so I think we can survive pretty much anything, okay? But on a serious note, being made aware, right, and maybe having some professional training can certainly go a long ways and possibly save your backside one day. So I commend Hope Alive 845 for heading in that direction.
It'll save a life.
Absolutely, and every life counts. Every life matters, right?
Yep, absolutely. Well, Tom, I thank you so much for being with us tonight.
It's been a pleasure. And, it really has.
And let me know when you're coming up to visit.
I'm gonna. I hope to see you Sunday, because I want to bring that guitar up for you.
Okay.
And I want to once again shake your hand for doing an incredible job. And don't ever get discouraged, because you know what? I don't care who tells you this, who tells you that. Domingo, you know your mission.
Okay? It's a big mission. Now, Tom, what's your radio station? I like the people to hear your radio station in the morning.
Right. I'm heard every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Radio, WGHT Radio, 93.5 FM, 98.3 FM, or listen live anywhere in the world, WTBQ.com. Tomorrow's guest is calling all the way from Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
So we are heard. We have in the area of around a 2.1 million listening audience. And it's artists helping artists through the power of radio. But being part of your program, and the 5 years I've been doing radio broadcasting, being part of your program tonight has certainly been the pinnacle of my career. And I thank you very much for it.
And we thank you for joining us. And once again, we thank you for your service as well, too. And we hope to see you soon.
Yes, sir. I'll see you Sunday.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
Have
Good
a good
night.
night. Yep. That was Tom Lovelace, such an incredible guy, very heartwarming guy. He's right. You know, that if your person is missing, report it. You have to report it. Such kind words. But yes, we need our community to come together. We need to make this happen. We can make a difference in all of our communities, not just Sullivan, but we can help in Orange County, Dutchess counties, Ulster County. We can make a big difference everywhere we go. And that's our mission. That's our goal. So we need you guys. We need our community to spreading the word out. Spread the word out. Hope Alive 8405. Spread the word out. Our toy drives, we have started a toy drive. Last year, we brought 150 kids to Christmas last year. It was amazing. It was a lot of fun. Well, my wife, she wrapped every single present last year. Every single present she wrapped last year. This year, she got some help this year. We have Rebecca. She's going to be helping us. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're all in it for the children. We're all in it for the families that are struggling. We're all in it for our community. And we are looking to make some serious changes, but we can't make them changes without you. So, yes, it's been a rough week for us this week, but we're going to hang in there. We're going to keep going forward. I'd like to thank our producer, Ryan Weber. He wasn't feeling too well tonight. He has a big old headache, but he came because this is what he likes to do. We thank all your listeners out there. Once again, if you see somebody that's missing or something about somebody who's missing, please reach out to us. 845-707-4124. We have to get answers for these missing people, children, adults. We have to get answers. You can't go on forever if you know something, because if you know something and you don't say anything, it's going to come back and haunt you at the end. Just like if somebody was murdered, if you know something, you say something. Let's break the code. Let's get out of snitch zone, because one day it could be your family. And then you would want the same thing what every else family wants. As you can see, the list is growing and growing and growing on missing people. Last week is about 8 or 9. This week we're higher now. We need to bring that down lower now. We need to bring it down. If we have to do it one by one, we have to get answers now. This is the time now. I know Sullivan County knows something about Marvin Gibbs. I know Sullivan County knows something about Shanice Harris. We know you know. You need to speak up. If you don't want to go to the police department, come see us personally. We keep it confidential, but we need to get answers soon. We know about Stephen Kraft in Orange County. Somebody knows in Orange County. Somebody knows. Somebody knows something about Joseph Hell over in Ulster County. You just don't go missing off the mountains and don't be found. Something needs to be done. We need to speak up. Everybody needs to come together. We need to get together, bring home answers. So until then, we thank everybody for tonight. Once again, we're sorry for the beginning. We're a little delay. It was a little rough start with us. We had a lot going on in our minds, this past week, but we have to move forward. We have to forget about what's going on in the past week, but once again, I will say it out there. So it's on record. We are not in no informal shape in competition with anybody. We don't plan to be in competition with anybody. Our plan is to help families. That's our plan. Until then, see you next Friday. Have a good night.